Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, by Harv Eker. Imagine unlocking the secret code to wealth that separates the financially successful from those who always struggle. In Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Harv Eker doesn't just write a book, he delivers a blueprint for financial transformation. This isn't another generic self-help guide. It's a deep dive into the psychological DNA of wealth. Why do some people attract money effortlessly while others fight constant financial battles? Eker breaks down the critical mindset differences between the poor, middle, and upper classes, revealing the invisible scripts that determine one's financial destiny. Here's what you'll discover: the exact mental patterns that trigger success or failure. Practical, actionable strategies to rewire your financial thinking. Step-by-step techniques to build income and create lasting wealth. Warning: this book is not for passive readers. This is for action takers who are serious about changing their financial future. Every page is a potential game changer if you're willing to study it like your financial life depends on it. Part 1: Your Money Blueprint. In Part 1, we will explain how we are taught to think and act about money and discuss the manifestation process. And explain 4 key strategies for changing our mental money blueprint. Eker says we live in a world of duality, such as happiness-sadness, profit-loss, up-down, and light-dark. The same rule applies to money philosophy. There are outer laws and inner laws regarding money. Outer law includes business knowledge, money management, and investment strategies. It is essential. Inner law: it's also essential, like an analogy would be a carpenter and his tools. It's not enough to be in the right place at the right time. You must be the right person in the right place at the right time. Do you really think you deserve wealth? It depends on your thinking, who you are, and what you believe. It determines your success level. The key to success is to raise your energy. When you do, people will naturally be attracted to you. And when they show up, Bill M. Stuart Wilde. Wealth principle: your income can grow only to the extent you do. Most people lack the internal capacity to create and hold large amounts of money, which can lead to increased challenges. That is the primary reason they don't have much money. When self-made millionaires lose their money, they usually recover it relatively quickly. Donald Trump is a good example. Trump was worth billions, lost everything, and then regained it all again a few years later. Millionaires may lose their money, but the most important ingredient to their success is their millionaire mind. The reality for most people is that their thermostat. They don't use their full potential. Some people's financial thermostats are set for generating billions, while others think about only 1,000. Some people's financial thermostats are set for below zero. Wealth principle: if you want to change the fruits, you will first have to change the roots. If you want to change the visible, you must first change the invisible. Eker explains that humans are part of nature, not above it. As a result, when we align with the law of nature and work on our roots, our inner world, our lives flow smoothly. When we don't respect the natural rules, life gets rough. He introduced 4 quadrants. One of the most important things you can ever understand is that we do not live in only one place of existence. We live in at least 4 different realms simultaneously: the physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental world. Wealth principle: money is the result, health is a result, illness is the result, and your weight is the result. We live in a world of cause and effect. The lack of money is never, ever a problem. It is the symptom of what is going on underneath. Lack of money is the effect. What is the root cause? The only way to change the outer world is to change your inner world first. As mentioned above, if you want good health, you should start a good diet, exercise, and get better sleep. Whatever results you are getting, whether richer or poorer, good or bad, positive or negative, always remember that your outer world is simply a reflection of your inner world. The author introduces the power secret of change, the declaration. What you hear, you forget; what you see, you remember; what you sow, you understand. All energies travel in frequencies and vibrations. When you state a declaration aloud, its energy vibrates throughout your body's cells, sending a specific message to the universe and a powerful message to your subconscious mind. Wealth principle: thought leads to feeling. Feeling leads to actions. Action leads to results. Your financial blueprint consists primarily of the information or programming you received in the past, especially as a child. The first influence: verbal programming. Maybe you heard these phrases in your childhood, like, "Money is the root of all evil." "Save your money for your rainy days." "Rich people are greedy, filthy rich, you have to work hard to make money," and many more. All the statements you hear about money are negative, and we all want money to make our lives happier. We are sending the wrong message to the universe. This thing we discuss many times, it's set in our subconscious mind, running our financial lives. Wealth principle: when the subconscious mind must choose between deeply rooted emotions and logic, emotion will almost always win. Steps of changing verbal programming. Awareness: write down all the statements you heard about rich people, money, and wealth when you were young. Understanding: write down how you believe these statements have affected your financial life so far. Disassociation: can you see that you have a choice in the present moment to be different? Declaration: touch your head and say, "I have a millionaire mind." The second influence: modeling. The second method is conditioned, called modeling. What were your parents or guardians like in the arena of money when you were growing up? You have probably heard the saying, "Monkey see, monkey do." Humans are same. As a kids we learn everything from modeling. The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. The author shares a story about a woman who prepares a ham for dinner by cutting both ends. Her husband asks why she cuts both ends. She adds, "My mother did like this." Well, it just so happened that her mother came that night for dinner. So they ask why she cuts the ham on both sides. She replied, "Because my mom used to do this." Finally, they called Grandma and asked the same question. Grandma answered, "Because my pen was too small." In the arena of money, we tend to be identical to one or a combination of our parents. Steps of changing, modeling. Awareness: consider the ways of being and your parents' habits around money and wealth. Write down how you may be identical or opposite to either of them. Understanding: write down how this modeling has affected your financial life. Disassociation: can you see you have a choice in the present moment to be different? Declaration: place your hand over your head, over your heart, and say, "What I modeled around money was their way. I chose my way." Touch your head and say, "I have a millionaire mind." Want to know how to get blessed with money and happiness? Read this. The Richest Man in Babylon book summary. The third influence: specific incidents. The third primary way in which we are conditioned is by specific incidents. Let us understand by an example. A woman who was an operating room nurse. Josie had an excellent income, but she always spent her money. Not save something for the future. She revealed that when she was 11 years old, she remembers being at a Chinese restaurant with her parents and her sister. Her mom and dad were having a bitter argument about money. Her dad screamed, and then he fell down from a heart attack. Her father died in her hand. And so, from that day forth, Josie's mind linked money with pain. The third influence: specific incidents. Steps of changing, specific incidents. Awareness: consider a specific emotional incident in your experience with money when you were young. Understanding: write down how this incident may have affected your current financial life. Disassociation: can you see you have a choice in the present moment to be different? Declaration: place your hand over your head, over your heart, and say, I release non-supportive money experiences from the past and create a new and rich future. Touch your head and say, I have a millionaire mind. Wealth principle: the only way to permanently change the temperature in the room to reset the thermostat. In the same way, the only way to change your level of financial success permanently is to reset your financial thermostat. Financial mindset evolution. Your journey from foundation to wealth mastery. Seedling, level 1. Foundation level. Direct hit. Mindset traits. Fixed thinking patterns. Security focused. Risk averse. Comfort zone preference. High voltage. Key actions. Basic budgeting. Savings focused. Traditional career path. Minimal financial education. Growth path. Rocket. Level 2. Growth mindset. Direct hit. Mindset traits. Learning orientation. Action-taking mindset. Embraces challenges. Solution-focused. High voltage. Key actions. Develops new skills. Sets clear financial goals. Seeks mentorship. Builds good habits. Mastery path. Direct hit. Level 3. Wealth mastery. Direct hit. Mindset traits. Long-term wealth vision. Strategic risk-taking. Abundance mentality. Investment focused. High voltage. Key actions. Creates multiple income streams. Invests in personal growth. Builds wealth systems. Mentors others. Part 2, The Wealth Files. In Part 2 of this book summary, we'll examine some differences and reconditioning and install 17 alternative wealth files into your mind. Our mind is nothing more than a large file cabinet, similar to what we find in our office and home. All the information we get is labeled and put in folders to make it easy to find and help us survive. When we hear about money, our brain automatically goes to a file labeled money and decides what to do. The only thought that comes to your mind is about what we have stored and believed. Based on what we believe, we'll decide what is logical, sensible, and appropriate at that time. The ways of thinking will result in success. The author provides 17 ways to become rich. Learn to connect with people and become a master influencer. Dive into our summary of how to win friends and influence people. 17 ways rich people think and act differently than poor or middle-class people. Rich people think very differently about money, wealth, themselves, and other people from the poor and middle-class people. Wealth principle: you can choose to think in ways that will support you in your happiness and success instead of ways that don't. Wealth file 1. Rich people believe, I create my life. Poor people think, life happens to me. If you want to create wealth, you must believe that you are the steering wheel of your life, especially your financial life. Instead of taking responsibility for what's going on in their lives, poor people choose to play the role of victim. Victims blame the economy, the government, their partner, their spouse, and God, as well as their parents. If you notice, victims aren't only blaming, you'll find them justifying and complaining. Wealth principle: money is extremely important in the area in which it works, and extremely unimportant in the areas in which it doesn't. Wealth file 2. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game not to lose. Rich people aim for massive wealth and abundance, not just some money, but lots of money. Instead, poor people think only of today's bill and basic needs, not more than this. The power of intention plays a significant role. One of the principles is what we can learn. If you shoot the stars, you'll at least hit the moon. Wealth File 3. Rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich. One of the main reasons most people don't get what they want is that they don't know what they want. Rich people are clear about what they want and are fully committed to creating wealth. Poor people have plenty of good reasons as to why getting and actually being wealthy might be a problem. Wealth File 4. Rich people think big. Poor people think small. The law of income: you will be paid in direct proportion to the value you deliver according to the marketplace. The key word is value. 4 factors determine how much your product is worth in one market: supply, demand, quality, and quantity. Most people choose to play small because of the fear of failure and the fear of success. The purpose of our lives is to add value to the people of this generation and those that follow. Wealth File 5. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. Rich people focus on rewards and see potential growth. Poor people see potential loss and focus on the risk. The old age question: is the glass half empty or half full? Here, we're not talking about positive thinking but about the habitual perspective. Poor people mostly make choices based on fear. Their primary mindset is, what if it doesn't work, or, more often, it won't work. Rich people are expected to succeed, and they have confidence in their abilities and creativity. Wealth File 6. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. Poor people often resent, jealously, and envy other people's success. The author shares a story about his life. He saw how things changed when he got rich and bought a new black Jaguar. One day, he drove through a poor neighborhood in San Diego and delivered turkeys for charity at Christmas. He noticed that his sunroof was open, and 4 grimy men were behind him in the back of a pickup truck. They started playing basketball with his car, and he attempted to shoot beer cans into his open sunroof. 5 dents and several deep scratches later, they passed him, screaming, "You rich bastard!" Here, the author is not complaining, but it's easy to talk about not resenting the rich. Depending on our mood, falling into the trap can happen to anyone, like the author. Wealth File 7. Rich people are associated with positive, successful people. Poor people are associated with negative or unsuccessful people. Successful people look at successful people as a way to motivate themselves. Poor people often judge, criticize, and pull down others when they hear about other people's success. First, don't try to get people to change or come to the course. That's not your job. You have to focus on what you've learned to better yourself and your life. Be successful, be happy, and be a model. Wealth File 8. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think negatively. Rich people are usually leaders, and all great leaders are great promoters. They promote their products, services, ideas, and their ideas with passion and enthusiasm. To be a leader, you have to have followers and supporters. You have to be good at selling, inspiring, and motivating people to buy into your vision. Leaders earn a heck of lot more money than follower. Wealth File 9. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problem. Riches don't happen overnight. There are many twists, turns, detours, and obstacles along the way. The road of wealth is fought with traps and pitfalls, and that's precisely why most people don't take it. Poor people don't want hassles, headaches, and responsibilities. In short, they don't want difficulties. Wealth File 10. Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people are poor receivers. The number one reason most people do not reach their full potential would be that most people are poor receivers. They may or may not be good at giving, but they are definitely bad at receiving. Many people feel unworthy or undeserving. Fear of failure and low self-esteem are major issues. If a 100-feet oak tree had the mind of a human, it would only grow to be 10 feet tall. The author suggests that you change your story instead of worrying about your worthiness. Simply make up a new story and live into that. Money will make you more of what you already are. Pamper yourself. Do something special once a month to nurture yourself and your spirit. Get a massage or manicure pedicure and eat good food. Wealth File 11. Rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time. Poor people prefer to be paid a steady salary or hourly wage. They need the security of knowing that exactly the same amount of money is coming in at the same time, month in, month out. Rich people believe in themselves. They believe in their value and their ability to deliver. Wealth File 12. Rich people think both. Poor people think either or. Poor people live in a world of limitation, while rich people live in the world of abundance. The world around them is the same, but the difference lies in their perspective. Poor and middle-class people come from scarcity. People who are poor or middle class think they have to choose between making money and enjoying life. So they came up with a position that money is not as important as other things. Consider yourself a role model for others, showing that you are kind, generous, loving, and rich. Wealth File 13. Rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their working income. The true measure of wealth is net worth, not working income. Net worth is the financial value of everything you own, including your cash, investments, and stock. Net worth is a measure of wealth, meaning that what you own can be eventually liquidate into cash. Rich people understand the huge distinction between working income and net worth. They focus on 4 net worth factors: income, saving, investments, and simplification. Rich people know that building a high net worth is an equation that contains all 4 elements. They decrease a cost of living by simplifying lifestyle. Wealth rule: where the attention goes, energy flows, and results show. Wealth File 14. Rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage their money well. The only difference between financial success and failure is how well you manage your money. To be a master, you need to know how to handle money. The habit of managing your money is more important than the amount. Eker advised us to create 4 accounts. 10% into your long-term savings for spending account. 10% into education account. 50% into necessities account. 10% into your give account. If you mishandle your money, you will never be financially free. Wealth File 15. Rich people have their money work hard for them. Poor people work hard to their money. It's important to work hard, but just working hard won't make you rich. Allow the money to work for you. Rich people can spend their days relaxing because they work smart. They understand that the more your money work, the less you will have to work. The author's definition for financial freedom is, it is the ability to live the lifestyle you desire without having to work or rely on anyone else for money. Wealth File 16. Rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them. Action is the bridge between the inner world and the outer world. Fear, doubt, and worry are some of the biggest obstacles to success and happiness. The most significant difference between rich and poor people is that they are willing to act despite fear. Poor people are unable to overcome fear. These people usually wait for forever. If you are willing to do only what's easy, life will be hard. But if you are willing to what's hard, life will be easy. Wealth File 17. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think they already know. You can be right, or you can be rich, but you can't be both. Being right means having to hold old ways of thinking and being. Unfortunately, these are the ways of that got you exactly where you are now. This philosophy also pertains to happiness, in that you can be right, or you can be happy. Every master was once a disaster. Harv Eker,